Hi everyone, this is Mithun. Today we are going to learn about how to create a virtual private cloud in an AWS environment. So we are going to talk about a simple diagram, that is to create a virtual private cloud. In that virtual private cloud, we should have a public facing and a private facing subnets. That means if you run a couple of instances in public, then it should be accessible from outside. And if you run some instances in private, it should be in a secure environment. We will not be able to access directly. So to get a virtual private cloud, we have to create a virtual, a public route table and a private route table. And to your route table, you're going to connect your internet gateway. For public, we're going to connect internet gateway, and for private, we're going to connect your NAT gateway. And NAT gateway is connected to public subnet, so that the public subnet, so that the information can be passed from your internet gateway to NAT and then to private network. This is what today we are going to do, and we are selecting 10.0.0.0-16, that is 65,500, that much range of IP address. Out of that, we're going to select 256 IPs for public and 256 IPs for private subnets. So what exactly is a private VPC? Virtual private cloud is nothing but a secure, isolated private cloud hosted in a public cloud. So VPC customers can run code, store data, host website, and do anything else that they do in the ordinary private cloud, but the private cloud is hosted remotely in a public cloud provider. So as we understand, let's say we have some companies, they have some secure data needs to be hosted in a very private environment. In those situations, they use virtual private cloud. And another example is like your databases need to be to be stored in a very secured environment, so we use a virtual private cloud that is especially on a private cloud that we store, and there is your applications will be running on your public facing subnets, so that the information will not be compromised by anyone else. To set up that infrastructure, we have virtual private cloud. We have to create a subnet, and we have to create route tables, public route tables and private route tables. And with that, we have to associate with your private and public subnets. And to get internet to your AWS virtual private, so VPC, we have to create an internet gateway to get your internet to your private. So we have to give a NAT gateway. So this entire infrastructure would look like. So let's go ahead and try to create a virtual private cloud. Let me log into my AWS. So I will go ahead and check VPC here. So we are getting into our VPC. The moment we create a VPC, so we have a dashboard. In dashboard, how many VPCs you have created, it will be updated. You have option for subnet, route tables, internet gateway, egress, only internet gateway, DHCP, option set, elastic IPs, manage, prefix list, endpoint services, and NAT gateway and peering connections. So we're going to use a couple of those options from here to create a virtual private network. So let me just quickly select the option VPC, create a VPC. And I'm going to name this VPC as Affordable Web App /-VPC. That's the name I'm going to give for this VPC. So as per our diagram, we have 10.16 as a range that we are trying to create here. So 10.0.0.0/16, that is the CIDR as 16, So we are actually giving around 65,500 IPs reserved for this virtual private network, and your tendency is right now default. And let me go ahead and create VPs. So as far as our first step is concerned, it is ready. Now the second step is creating your subnets. So let me go and create a subnet. Click on create subnets and select your virtual private cloud. So I'm going to select the one that we have created right away, that is 10.0.0/16 series, and we are going to create a private and a public. So RIVATE dash for RDAPLE web app. So this is the private subnet's name, and preferred zone I'm going to select as AP South A, and as per your diagram, the private is 10.0.2.0-24. So we are going to select that same option here, that is 10.0.2.0/24. And we are also going to create a public subnet. So I'm copying this same information, making this change here, PUBLIC public dash affordable web app, and preference zones again I'm going to select 1B, and for as per our diagram here it is 10.0.1.0/24. So let me just update that number, 10.0.1.0/24. that is, we are allocating another 256 IPs for your AP South B1 region for public. So go ahead and click on create subnets. So we have two subnets, private and public subnet. So once we have created the public and private subnets, next is creating a route table. So we have to create route table for private and public routes. So let me go ahead and hit first as the private RT, and we're going to select our virtual private network, that is a VPC, and go ahead and create route table. So the next route table is going to be public. So select public and then dash RT, that's going to be a route table, and it's also needs to be the same virtual private cloud. So once we have created both the route tables, now we have to give internet gateway. So we just have to click on internet gateway, then we select create an internet gateway, IGW, that's the internet gateway I'm going to create. It has been created, and now we have to create NAT gateway. So click on NAT gateway, and W, that is affordable web app NAT gateway, that's the name that we're going to give, and this going to be our public. In public only we have the internet, so we have to connect your public here, and it needs to be allocate an elastic IP address because that's very important. And now create NAT gateway. So we have created your NAT gateway, internet gateways. So while we're creating internet gateway, now we have the internet gateway, that is private affordable web app. It needs to be attached to our VPC. So we have to select our VPC and attach. The internet gateway is attached now. Now we will get back to route tables. We have the private route table, so we need to attach a private route table to subnet association. Edit subnet, it is private, so we're going to select private subnet and click on associate. So private is attached, and now in public we have to associate public subnet. So we're going to select public subnet and save association. So both private and public subnets are associated with your route tables, and in uh, private route table we need to associate your NAT gateway. So it can be from anywhere, and then you have to select NAT gateway. In NAT gateway we have created a NAT that has been getting attached, and it is successfully updated. Now we have to go back to the route tables, and in public route we have to associate. In edit routes we have to associate from anywhere. We can actually associate internet, and IGW is also connected, and save changes. Now our infrastructure is ready. Now we will go ahead and try to initiate instances in both private and public. Get back to our EC2 instance page or the dashboard. Once we are in the console, click on dashboard. If instances are running or not. Okay, so there are, check how many instances are running. There is no instances running right away. So we're going to launch an instance now in the public facing subnet. So we are going to do name this one as public. Public dash affordable web app, and let's say test server. That's the name that we are going to select, and it's going to be Ubuntu, and we want to select a free eligible tier, micro instance also free tier, and then we are selecting our key pair that's already been created earlier. So we're going to select a key pair. Since it is going to be a public EC2 instance, our VPC should be the new VPC that we have created, and the subnet we will select public. Okay, and we will enable and IP address, and we can also set some security. Select an existing security group. So in this particular VPC, we don't have any security group. Security group here. So this will be public. So we are telling that this is going to be a public security group. In that we need to add security rule. Can be put 80, and from source from anywhere. We're also adding one more SSH, so it can be SSH connection. Port number it is 22. It also should be able to connect it from anywhere. And let me just quickly launch an instance. Usually in the case of a VPC, we will not open internet gateway, but for our test purpose, we are just trying to give the options internet gateway here. So right now we have one public test server that is in public subnet. It is going to be getting started. Meanwhile, we'll also launch a private test server here. Click on launch instance. So this is going to be private. Okay, our private instance is ready. It is also on Ubuntu operating system. Okay, and it's on T2 micro, and the there is again test. And now we have to edit our network settings. That is, it should be our new VPC, and it's going to be a private. So IP addresses I'm going to enable. Assign in public IP address. And security group, and the existing security group that we created, public is there. So we're going to select the same security group and launch instead. So we will quickly go back to our instances which is working. So let's say this is one instance which is working. Let me just click on connect. This is going to be our okay. So we haven't set any policies. It can be a remote desktop. So the password that we are trying to copy and paste this password from downloads. We have a folder. Okay, and downloads folder D, and click to connect. So that's how decrypt that file, and we will get a password. So let me just copy that password and open. Let's see how it's going to work. And to connect a remote RDP. Here and try to establish connection. Okay, we are trying to connect to your the workspace or the server space. So initial set has been getting ready. So meanwhile it is getting ready, so we will just check instances here, and it is a public instance we are trying to set up. So this is going to be a public instance. Okay, so we are when we try to access this, so it's working fine, and then let's check with private. So we also have an IP address here, and you'll also see that this is in that same IP range. As per our diagram, the IP range is same, and let's go ahead and practical the SSH connection. Let's see if we are able to connect to the file, and let me just log into Git Bash. We are trying to get connected to this private test server with the help of a Git bash terminal. Minimize the screen and let's see what is happening right now. Our Windows operating system here and the CMD. Let's see if you're able to get to the empty prompt. Um, in our public EC2 instance, we unfortunately installed an EC2 Windows operating system and T2, and it's got its IP address and all. Let's see if we are able to see command prompt. Okay, let me open the command prompt here. We will do a ping test. This is working, so we will also check if we are able to connect to this instance, that is a private instance here. Let's just copy it, IP address. Okay, we have the public IP address here. Let's copy this address. 13.233.83.21. Thirteen dot 233.83.21. 83.20. If you are able to ping from here, it's not. Maybe the IP address is incorrect. So that's how we actually set up our EC connections or the VPC connection. And if you have more queries, you can just ask questions on the EC link. I will try to answer those questions. And for today, we will stop here and we will continue with our next session. And thanks for watching, and you all have a great day.